Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Philly.
At 24, many of us are trying to figure out who we are, what we want out of life, how we can achieve it. As another year turns on the calendar of Mike Trout's life, he seems to have the answers to all of those questions and many more. Breaking pitch, hammered out to deep left center field. That one is gone. Big fly for the birthday boy. The Angels lead it 2-1. Angels fans have been witness to one of the most prolific starts to a career in baseball history. And as good as he's been so far, the incredible thing is he's only getting better. Let's celebrate the birthday boy next on Fox Sports West. Well, if there was ever a team that needed a dramatic victory, it was the Angels, and they certainly got it on Wednesday. They picked up the series win. They had the off day yesterday, and the homestand continues tonight on this Friday night as the Baltimore Orioles are into town for the first of three. We welcome you inside the Big A and back to Angels baseball here on Fox Sports West, along with Mark Kubiza. I'm Victor Rojas, and as we just pointed out to you, today is Mike Trout's 24th birthday, and we have been amazed ever since he got to the big leagues, hit his first Major League home run against these Orioles at Camden Yards, and he just never ceases to amaze.
Victor, it's his birthday today? I would have never known that. I'll tell you what, he's done so many unbelievable things. We take a look back at what Mike Trout has done throughout his career, the accomplishments he's been able to get going as far as when he first was drafted back in 2009 to win the Rookie of the Year in 2012, putting up some magical numbers there, runner-up MVP. Then he wins the All-Star MVP in 2014 and 2015. And then, of course, he wins the AL MVP last season. He's doing some historic things each and every time. Every time you think he's done something a little bit more extraordinary, he does something else, and we're looking forward to that tonight. I'm sure he's going to do something amazing on his birthday. He's already hit a couple home runs on his birthday already. Who knows what he'll do tonight?
No doubt about that. You saw that the home runs on his birthday a couple of times already in his career. He'll be facing a youngster by the name of Kevin Gossman, while the Angels will counter with left-hander Andrew Heaney. Both of those guys drafted in the first round of the 2012 draft. We're just about ready for baseball here at the Big A. Let's celebrate Mike Trout's 24th. We're just about ready for baseball. Sit back and relax. Lineups at first pitch when we return. your next card. CarMax. CarMax start here. By Jack in the Box. For a limited time, try the new Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack with melted garlic herb butter. By Foster Farms Fresh and Natural. Locally grown with no added hormones. And by your Southern California Toyota dealers. Beautiful night for baseball here at the Big A. The Baltimore Orioles in town for a 3-game set. Just about to first pitch time here tonight. 6:05 tomorrow and a 12:35 start on Sunday afternoon. The Angels' second meeting against the Orioles. The first went the Angels' way as they took 2 of 3 at Camden Yards. As we take a look at the standings in the American League West and in the American League wild card, the Angels 2.5 back of the Astros. Astros winning in dramatic fashion last night against the Oakland Athletics in extra innings. Texas, by the way, 5.5 back. They just acquired Mike Napoli from the Boston Red Sox. Toronto has been red hot. Baltimore just a 1.5 games out of that. And you just can't forget about any team right now in the American League. Everyone seems to be getting hot. Even the Tigers at the start of the day, 4 back in the wild card.
Yeah, it's going to be an amazing race all the way to the end as far as that wild card, even division champions.
Let's take a look at Buck Showalter's starting lineup for the Orioles at 55 and 52. Third place in the East, 6 back in that division. Manny Machado leading things off. He's at third base. Gerardo Parra is in right field. They just acquired him from the Brewers. Adam Jones out at center. Chris Davis, the masher, at first base. Matt Wieters, whom the Angels did not see in the first matchup because he was coming back from Tommy John surgery, batting 5th. He's doing the catching. J.J. Hardy is at short. Jonathan Scope at second base. Junior Lake just acquired from the Cubs as the DH of Nolan Reimold. What seems to be a longtime Baltimore Oriole, batting 9th and playing left field as they take on Andrew Heaney, making his 8th major league start for the Angels this season. And he's coming off his first loss, although he did not pitch poorly against the Dodgers. Yeah,
he threw very well against Clayton Kershaw and the Dodgers in that game. He's been very good this entire season for the Halos. Heaney, 5-1 with an ERA under 2 at 1.97. But the most impressive thing for me has been his ability to throw strikes on that arm side part of the play. That means inside against lefties and especially important outside against righties. 48% of his pitches when he goes to that arm side have been strikes. That sets up his changeup on the outer half and also his slider from both sides of the plate.
Let's check out the defense behind Heaney this evening. David DeJesus in left field, Mike Trout at center, Cole Calhoun in right. The infield with Connor Gillespie and Eric Ibar on the left side, Johnny Giamatelli and Albert Pujols on the right. Chris Iannetta is behind the plate.
And with Heaney on the mound, a lot of ground ball action. Johnny Giamatelli has really improved over his last 25 games. He only has 1 error in his last 25, 9 in his 100 starts at second base. Been much better as far as turning double plays. Hands are getting better, and the infielders are helping him out from Eric Ibar to Albert Pujols quite a bit.
Baltimore coming off a dramatic win themselves against Oakland yesterday. Chris Davis, a grand slam to defeat Oakland 7-3. Baltimore on the road has been a different team than they have at home, and we've seen that quite a bit. The Angels are a perfect example of that as well. The Angels with the victory the other day, now 34-22 here at the Big A. But Baltimore just 23-32 out on the road, and they've hit 244 away from Camden compared to the 266 at home. So a pretty decent differential. Now, that being said, they are very good with men in scoring position, or at least have been here the last couple of weeks. It's a little different story, but they're 4th in the American League in that category. Tonight's first pitch being delivered by the UPS store. Halo's problems of late have not necessarily been the pitching. It's been the lack of offense and lack of guys getting on base. We'll see if that changes. Kevin Gausman on the mound. First one tonight is in there for a strike as Mike Trout is being serenaded out in right center field with happy birthday, and he just turned around and acknowledged the crowd, and that's why you hear the roar from the pavilion and right.
Had the roll call out there. That was nice.
Yeah. Machado hitting .291, 23 home runs, 56 RBIs. He fouls this one back, and it's 1-2.
Speaking of special young players, Machado, one of the best in baseball. Very solid at third base. 23 home runs, 20 doubles, and a triple. It's 44 extra base hits for Machado.
Jam, a little flare out to shallow center field. Here comes Mike Trout. Not going to get there. It'll fall in for his single. A good pitch in on the hands, but Machado fighting it off, and the leadoff man on board for the Orioles.
My Hyundai key for this game for the Angels to be successful, like most times with Mike Trout in the game, with a little Led Zeppelin celebration day. Celebrating his birthday throughout pregame show and into the opening. Hopefully he'll do something special today on his birthday.
Gerardo Parra comes up now. 5 games with Baltimore. He's gone 4 for 19 for him with a double. Having a good season with Milwaukee. Parra in right field. We're looking to strike. 328, 9 home runs, 31 RBIs for the Brewers before being acquired by the Orioles.
Let's talk about the Angels trying to acquire him at one point this season from Milwaukee.
Oh, and 2. Orioles have run less than the Angels, if that's possible. Just 30 stolen bases on the season. Buck Showalter not happy with Phil Cuzzy's strike call on Parra. They can hit the long ball. They're 4th in home runs, 6th in runs scored, 5th in slugging as a team. 0-2. Breaking ball smothered by Ainetta.
Yeah, the one guy that runs a little bit, Machado, with 15 stolen bases. He caught 4 times. Other than him, not a lot of movement. It's always been the mantra for the Baltimore Orioles, always wait back for that 3-run home run.
It's in their DNA.
Yes. Good pitching and the 3-run home run.
Leadoff single for Machado. 1-2 count on Parra. Now Inetta's going to go out and talk things over. Phil Cuzzy, as I mentioned, is calling the balls and strikes tonight. Jerry Davis, the crew chief, at first. Will Little at second, and Tony Randazzo at third base. Umpire and crew for this 3-game set. Game number 108 for both ball clubs. Check in on Machado once again. No real difference for Baltimore. At least it's negligible as far as righties, lefties, and their batting average against those guys. 257 against left-handed pitching. 254 against right-handed. Long pause, the 1-2. Foul back. Parra now 28 years of age, native of Venezuela. Got to the big leagues for the first time in 2009 as a member of the Diamondbacks.
Good life in the fastball early on for Heaney. 93 consistently. Might be a good time to drop the slider on him now. Back-to-back 93-mile-an-hour fastballs.
Heaney, the American League Rookie of the Month for July. 4-0 with a 1.95 ERA. And 45 and 2/3 innings under his belt this year at the major league level. Now one's fouled at the plate. There's that breaking ball you're talking about.
Much better feel for that pitch at this point than we saw at any time in spring training. 0-3 last year with the Marlins. Really, that nice adjustment he made with Mike Butcher when they looked at a video to see why he had such a tough time repeating his pitches. It was all about a better, cleaner delivery.
A long plate appearance already for Parra. Mentioned in the open, both Heaney and Gossman, who's getting the start for Baltimore, drafted in that 2012 draft. And with the 9th overall selection out of Oklahoma State by the Marlins. Gossman, the 4th overall selection out of LSU. Now time call again. Not a very big lead for Machado at first base. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Missed off the plate.
About a baseball or two off the outside corner. A nice job of keeping that front shoulder in. Hit his spot, but just a little bit off the corner. Good balance for Andrew Heaney over the pitching rubber.
Two now. Parra lifts one out to center. Trout is there. He backs up a couple of steps. One away. Took a little while, but he retires Parra. Machado stays at first base. Hey fans, this broadcast of Angels baseball being broadcast on AFN, the American Forces Network, broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces serving around the world on land and in ships at sea. We welcome you to our broadcast, and as always, we thank you for your continued service to our country. One out, one on, and it's Jones. Adam Jones coming to the plate. 282 this season with 17 home runs and 51 runs batted in. Swing and a miss on the first pitch.
Yeah, you see that often from Adam Jones. He's always looking early in the count for a fastball. He's got good power. Can turn on a fastball in the inner half of the plate. He's susceptible to chase, especially changeups from lefties going down and away off the plate.
All-star once again this year, 5th time in his career. He's been into the American League squad. Got the start, as a matter of fact, in left field. To go for Alex Gordon of the Royals. This one's popped up on the infield. Albert calling for it. Andrew for a second thought about going after it, but gave way to Albert.
I like the effort, the thought process.
So 2 outs. Machado still at first base. Chris Davis coming to the plate. The shift is on. That's Connor Gillespie moving over to the right side. Ibar stays pretty much between short and third, halfway in the infield. Davis at 248, 28 home runs, 79 runs batted in. Second in the American League in RBIs to Josh Donaldson, who, by the way, homered again today. Hit his 30th. Mark Teixeira also hit his 30th.
How about that game? The two best offenses in the American League with Toronto and the Yankees, and Toronto won that game in 10 innings, 2-1.
The pitcher showed up, and in that ballpark to boot. 2 balls, no strikes. Heaney in a start against the Dodgers. Ended up lasting 5 1/3. 2 runs, 4 hits, struck out 3, walked 2. 2-1 count now.
Well, I love what he said after that game. I talked to him the next day. I said, hey, you pitched well. And he goes, not really. I lost the game. I said, well, Kershaw pitched well. He goes, no, my job is to win the game. And he threw the ball very, very well. Matched some zeros there for a while. Really only gave up 1 run himself, left 1 runner on base, and eventually scored on a 2-run home run.
2 balls, 2 strikes. At 5 1/3, his shortest outing as an Angel. The leadoff single, and Manny Machado still at first base. No score here in the first. 2-2, got him swinging. Down goes Davis. First punch out for Heaney. Well to the bottom of the first. To Jesus Calhoun to the birthday boy. Mike Trout coming up. 1-0 more as we check out Mike Scioscia's lineup for the Halos. At 2.5 back in the West at 57 and 50 on the season. DeJesus leading things off in left, Calhoun at right, Mike Trout in center. Pujols at first, David Murphy at DH, Eric Ibar the shortstop, Conor Gillespie at third, Johnny Giavotella at second, and Chris Dinetta batting ninth and doing the catching as they take on the 24-year-old right-hander, native of Centennial, Colorado. His name is Kevin Gausman.
Gausman has great stuff. Fastball, sinking fastball, 94, 98, slider, curveball, and split finger fastball, and occasional changeup also. But my keys to be successful against Gausman is don't overanalyze. Don't try and think in terms of when he's going to throw his off-speed pitches. Jump on the fastball and bring that two-seamer up in the strike zone where you can drive it and do some damage.
Big man's got some giddy up on his fastball out of LSU, as we mentioned. 2012 first rounder, 4th overall. Made 20 starts last year for Baltimore, one of which was against the Angels, and he picked up the win. First one tonight is outside for ball one. DeJesus getting the start in left field, hitting .244, 5 home runs, 27 runs batted in. David was the man at the plate when Featherston scored on a wild pitch to win the game on Wednesday. Cam Bedrosian his first major league win.
It's great to see Mike Scioscia give him the baseball after that tough outing the night before. Picks up that first W.
1-2-3 night for Kansas. David looks at a strike. It's 2-1. '15th game, 7th start for Gausman this year. The guy really had no spot in the rotation when the season started. He is back in there now. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He started against the Angels last year, 7 innings, 3 hits, 2 strikeouts, and 3 walks, and picking up the W.
Free and easy with his fastball. He's got a chance to be a special major league starter.
Two now. That's a called strike 3. DeJesus goes down looking for the first out. The Orioles line up like this defensively. Rival, Jones, and Parra from left to right in the outfield. Machado, Hardy, Scope, and Davis from third to first. Wieters behind the dish.
And Machado, who won a Gold Glove back in 2013 in the third base position, started off slow. 9 errors in his first 38 games, but only 3 in his last 69. None since July 2nd. Very good as far as coming in on the baseball. He covers a ton of ground. A former #1 pick as a shortstop. Great athletic ability at third base.
The Orioles, for the most part, Gooby, played very good defense as Cole fouls off the first one. Just 41 errors on the season by the Orioles. They've added a 2-time Gold Glover in right field in Parra. Cole hitting .277, 15 home runs and 59 RBIs. 1-for-4 game on Wednesday, and that was the 15th home run of the season. He's the one guy, if you go back to the last road trip in which the Angels went 0-6, from that point forward, the Angels have gone just 2-7. Cole's been the one constant, if you will, in the lineup for the Angels. He's 10 for 34 in those 9 games. Everyone else has really struggled. Trout 4 for 27, Pujols 7 for 32. Chris Dinetta, he's gotten a bulk of the playing time behind the plate, 2 for 17. As a team, the Angels have just gone 188 in those 9 games with a 238 on base percentage. It's been a tough go for the Halos offense. Upstairs, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Boy, in this sequence against Cole, Gausman has thrown 1 at 99, 2 at 98. And then an all-speed pitch at 87.
Called strike 3 on the outside corner, just off, but rung up by Phil Cuzzy. So that's back-to-back strikeouts for Gausman.
Baltimore with the shift on in the infield against Trout. The reason why I would think that's unusual, especially because Mike Trout can hit the ball, especially his home runs, very well to right center field. But when you're facing a guy throwing 97 to 99, it's very difficult to pull.
He drives one out to left center field. Hit well. That is gone. Big fly for the third time in his career on his birthday. 1-0 Angels.
Okay, Uncle. He is unbelievable what he can do. The special moments, the times where you expect Mike Trout to do something special, he does it again against a firm fastball. Goes yard to left center field. Home run number 33, 69 RBI. Wow.
3 shy of tying his career high of 36 last season. Here's Albert. Takes a fastball for a strike. That's one way to beat the shift.
Next thing you know, you're going to have all 8 fielders beyond the wall.
Back-to-back in the upper 90s and a 0-2 count at Albert. 257 on the year, 30 home runs, 66 RBIs. Trying to pitch him back inside. Misses. Ground ball to the right side. That'll beat the shift. A 2-out single for Albert.
We go back to Mike Trout's swing. Fastball pretty much the heart of the plate, just below belt high. And that compact, quick swing, those hands, and the power he generates on the barrel of the bat, using that lower part of his body to drive it a long, long way.
David Murphy, the DH tonight, at the plate. 2 hits in the inning for the Angels, both 2 outs. A home run by Trout, a single by Poole. This one grounded over to second. Scopes got it. Murphy retired for the 3rd out. But Mike Trout on his birthday hits his 33rd of the season, picks up the 69th RBI.
And that ball is tattooed by Trout.
Third home run of the season. A lot of birthday signs in attendance here, and they are happy out in right center field. A good chunk of those signs out there, along with the Trout net.
Kind of like the roll call to start the game, especially for Trout. I like to do that more often.
So you're saying they should just sing happy birthday to him every single day?
No, roll call for the whole team.
thing?
I like that.
Waiters skies one down the line. Giavotella cutting out. Calhoun racing in. Cole calling for it. One down.
Real solid communication there.
Hey fans, now's the perfect time to reserve a suite rental during the summer. Suites offer 12 to 36 guests the opportunity to enjoy the game in an intimate, luxurious atmosphere. Suite rentals offer all-inclusive food package as well as non-alcoholic beverage options. To reserve your suite, call 888-796-HALO or log on at angels.com/suites. Haney threw 20 pitches in the first, a good chunk of those to Gerardo Parra. Throws one and gets it out here to start the second. J.J. Hardy takes outside. The shortstop hitting .243. 7 home runs and 30 runs batted in. Two balls, no strikes. Just a perfect night for baseball. Cooler temperatures after all the warmer humidity that we've had here. The warmth and humidity we've had here over the last several weeks now, it seems like. 73 degrees. First pitch. Hardy draws a 4-pitch walk. All those pitches missing outside. First one issued by Heaney. And it'll bring up Jonathan Scope, the second baseman.
It's one thing Andrew hasn't done a whole lot of as far as walking batters. Is 7 coming into the game. And very solid in that category. It's under 46 innings pitched.
Scope looks at a strike. 299 this season. This is 35th game at the major league level. Native of Curacao, just 23 years of age. One ball, one strike. Scope last year played 137 games for Baltimore, which is 209. Does a nice job at second base. I think times we've seen him. Moves well, both.
Strong throwing arm.
He pulls this one to left field. Sounded like it broke his bat. DeJesus moving over. 2 outs. Hardy back to first.
Early on, though, 4 fly ball outs for Heaney. Generally a guy that will get a lot of ground ball type action. See if he can make that adjustment, keep working downstairs, keep the ball in the ballpark against this Baltimore team.
Andrews allowed 3 home runs on the season. His first 7 starts. They'll face Junior Lake, the DH. Orioles debut. Picked up in a trade with the Cubs. The skies went to right. Cole makes the grab and a shutdown inning for Andrew Heaney. We'll head to the bottom of the second. The Angels up 1-0.
the season. And coming up late in the game, we'll check out the big news from around the majors on the Cardinals Junior Sports Update. A couple tremendous pitching matchups in baseball tonight. We'll break that down a little bit later on.
What a tease.
Oh, yeah.
Ibar, Gillespie, and Giovatello, 6, 7, 8 for the Angels. It's Kevin Gausman. Gausman giving up the home run to Trout and a single to Pujols before getting Murphy to ground out to finish off the first. Also picked up 2 strikeouts. 1 ball, no strikes. Eric hitting .273. Couple of home runs, 35 runs batted in. 0 for 3 game. Wednesday's contest. He fouls this one back. But he also picked up a walk against Cody Allen. Closer for the Indians. He ended up taking the loss. Ibar 2 for his last 15. Pretty good curveball there from Gausman. Slice foul.
When you think about it, he's throwing 98, 99, and then you have to deal with an 81-mile-an-hour curveball, and he's got a changeup and a split-finger fastball.
Yeah, we get a chance to talk with, as we always do, with the Hall of Famer Jim Palmer. Does a television analysis for the Orioles. Talked about Gausman and really never found the right feel for that slider, but you don't need to with that curveball. This one down the line. That's a fair ball. Little defensive swing there for Ibar. He's going to try to go to second, and he's not going to get there, or is he? Nope. Tried to swim move, but an easy throw by Nolan Reimel, who was playing so shallow, able to cut that ball off. And he's a single and a put out.
And he charged it well and put himself in very good throwing position. And a firm throw, getting Eric Ibar at second base. His defense for Baltimore is outstanding. What a perfect throw from Reimel. All the way in the air, right on the base. Up there to be able to apply the tag. Tried to swim around there, but you see the tag on the body before Eric can get his hand on the base.
You know, probably sitting at home and wondering, you got a leadoff single, just be content with that. Mike Scioscia, you got to get a better read, I'm sure is what he's saying. But all things considered, the way this team has played offensively of late,
I don't have a problem with myself either.
I agree. You're struggling to get base runners on board, period. Maybe force the issue. Plus, you're playing with a little house money with the home run by Trout. And it's not going to be easy against Gausman and the stuff that he's featured.
No, he doesn't give up a lot of hits. So you take the chance getting in the scoring position, try to manufacture a run. It took a perfect throw, and it was a perfect throw to get him.
Pretty good piece of hitting, just with 2 strikes, throwing the bat out there. Connor Gillespie ahead of the count at 2-1. The third baseman hitting .236. 4 home runs and 21 runs batted in. Everything from a fastball perspective, at least to the left-handed batters we've seen, so everything's been away.
And most times about a half a baseball off the outside corner. He's got a lot of calls from there. So as a hitter, you have to protect that part of the plate and try to make contact. And right out of the batter's box, just made contact, and Eric's picking up Alfredo, and he's sending him. He turned around that corner and then knows he has to try to make an amazing slide to get around that tag, but a perfect throw from Reimel out in left field. It's pretty good arms in the outfield for Baltimore here tonight.
Foul back. There's that off-speed pitch.
So if you ask the hitters, you're okay with trying to hit that all-speed pitch, especially upstairs. Consider trying to make contact at 98 and 99. Unless you're Mike Trout, of course.
And he got him with the off-speed pitch. Third strikeout of the night for Gausman. 2 outs.
That's perfect location for his off-speed pitch. Stays on top of that front shoulder, eyes on the target. Turnover changeup out in front, located perfectly. See the hips of Gillespie well out in front of that pitch. Tough to make contact.
Lifted on the right side. Jonathan Scope, the second baseman, drifting out, puts it away. And that'll do it for the Halos here in the second. We head to the third. The Angels leading at 1-0.
Banquet on this date back on August 7, 2007. Barry Bonds hit his 756th career home run to break Hank Aaron's all-time major league record for home runs. Bonds finished with 762 career home runs. By the way, Mike Trout turned 16 on that day. Just got his driver's license probably. Probably drove over to Philly to hang out and watch a Philly game at that point.
Probably. Reimold, Machado, and Parra for Baltimore here in the third. 9-1-2 to face Andrew Heaney. Heaney, 1 strikeout, 1 walk, 1 hit allowed. Off-speed pitch. The very first one to Reimold. 30 games with Baltimore this year. 234 hitter. A couple of home runs, 8 runs batted in. Another good off-speed pitch. Nolan Reimold, Orioles second-round pick back in 2005.
Pretty good spot. 92-mile-an-hour fastball, just barely off the inside corner.
Reimold re-signing with Baltimore this past offseason. Spent a brief time at Toronto, 22 games. Diamondbacks, 7 games last year. He pulls this one to the left side. Gillespie with a diving stop, gets up, fires to first, not gonna get it. Reimold, for a big guy, can get down the line, but you go that far and you've got to dive, it makes it that much more difficult.
Yeah, Reimold gets down there very, very quick. You mentioned that, Victor. He's got good speed. Gillespie showing some good range with the dive and gets up quickly. And a pretty good throw to the first. Reimold able to beat that one out. See if Eric Ibar would have had a bit in better position to be able to make the play. Could have probably backhanded through across the diamond. It still would have been a very close play either way. Good range, Joe, for Gillespie.
Machado flared a single to shallow center to lead off the ball game. So he's 1 for 1. Ahead of the count of 2 balls and no strikes. At the shallow center again. Playable for Trout this time. 1 down. As the Angels take on the White Sox August 18th at 7:05, and fans in attendance will receive a travel pillow courtesy of AAA while supplies last. Purchase your tickets by visiting the Angel Stadium ticket office, or you can get it online.
It's nice.
Parra bouncing this one, and that'll sneak through to the right side. Reimold will turn. He's going to try to go to third. Here comes the throw from Calhoun. It is money.
What a throw from Cole Calhoun. Now give him 7 outfield assists this season. He charges baseball extremely well. Got himself in very good throwing position. And if Mike Scioscia needs a lefty out of the bullpen at some point, he might think about Cole Calhoun with that throw. What a perfect throw. Right on the money. Quick tag applied. Cole outstanding in right field.
Parra took second on the throw. 2 outs now. And Jones coming up. Jones popped out to Pujols on the inside, on the right side of the infield, I should say. That was in the first inning. Time was called. Giavotella wanted to pick off at second. Takes low. These two teams met back in mid-May, weekend series. 15th through the 17th. He was taking 2 of 3. Jones late on that fastball. The count evened up on him at 1 ball, 1 strike. The Angels won the first 2 games of that series and then dropped the finale, getting shut out 3-0.
40 pitches thrown by Heaney so far, 25 of them in the strike zone.
That was that game by the youngster Wright against Garrett Richards. Jones hits one out toward left center field, hit pretty well. Trout racing back, not going to get there. Hits off the wall. Parra will come in to score. Jones trying to get to second, and he is out at second base. Jones thought he had himself a home run, and Trout guns him out for the 3rd out. No need to apologize, son. We're tied at 1 as we head to the bottom of the 3rd.
dad on hand. 21st birthday in Oakland. Home run. On his 22nd birthday, Mike Trout does it again. Last time Oakland, this time with the Big A. And then, just for good measure, tonight on his 24th birthday, Mike Trout leaves the building again. Special player, Mike Trout.
And an outfield assist.
This add on to the legend.
That's it. Chris Iannetta to lead things off for the Angels here. It's a 1-1 game. It's a single for Jones, by the way, or was a single for Jones. Picked up his 52nd RBI. Iannetta, DeJesus, and Calhoun. Kevin Gausman with 3 strikeouts, 3 hits allowed. Chris lifts one out to shallow right center field on the very first pitch. Jones makes the catch, 1 out.
What a solid throw Mike Trout had just in front of the warning track to gun down Adam Jones. His 4th outfield assist of the season and first outfield assist on his birthday. By a lot, he's out. What a perfect throw just in front of that warning track for Trout.
DeJesus a strikeout looking in the first. One ball, one strike. Richard Gausman, the 2012 first round of the 4th overall. You look at some of the guys that first round, some pretty good names. Carlos Correa was the overall first selection of that draft. Byron Buxton of the Twins was second. Mike Zunino.
Serious talent.
Yeah, he went to Seattle, the catcher. Mark Appel. And Andrew Heaney, 9th. Addison Russell was in that draft, 11th overall.
Who's now the starting shortstop
for
Chicago.
Starlin Castro on the bench. 2-1 pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The thing of it is, a lot of those guys already at the major league level and contributing. You've seen more and more of that, especially from college pitchers. Teams have not been afraid to bring them up. Look at Brandon Finnegan last year for the Royals.
Why would you wait if you have an opportunity to win with them at the major league level?
Finnegan, the Royals' first round pick out of TCU. This one's out to right. Parra moving back into his right is there. 2 down.
And now it's time for the lows. Never stop improving. With Cole Calhoun coming to the plate. First 71 games, batting average under 260 with 6 home runs. His last 33, 316 batting average, 9 big flies, and 27 ribeyes. Any perfect throw again tonight from Cole.
Went down looking in the first. One of 3 strikeouts for Gausman. One ball, 2 strikes. Trout on deck. Home run for Trout in the first. And Baltimore tying it up in the 3rd on the single by Jones off the wall. Scoring Parham. Matter of fact, 3 hits allowed by Heaney in that 3rd inning. Count remains at 1-2. Scope, the second baseman, out in shallow right field as they play the shift on. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Osmond grew up in the suburb of Denver, a town called Centennial at the LSU. This one pulled into the shift. Scope comes charging in. Off balance throw. The Angels go down in order. We head to the 4th here at the Big A. It's a 1-1 game. See yourself in an upcoming Angels broadcast. It's brought to you by T-Mobile. Top of the 4th, Davis, Wieters, and Hardy coming up to face Andrew Heaney, the lefty for the Angels, making his 8th start of the season for the Halos. He has been a fantastic surprise and a nice addition to this Angels rotation. Jared Weaver on the mend has had 2 rehab outings. And there's a possibility, Gooby, Sunday.
Strong possibility through a very, very good bullpen today.
As Davis smokes one through the shift on the right side. It's Connor Gillespie over there. So Davis jumping on that first pitch, picks up a leadoff single. That's the 3rd time in 4 innings that Baltimore has had their leadoff man reach via the single. Davis struck out in the first, so he's 1 for 2. And here's Wieters, who saw 1 pitch in the second and hit a fly ball to right.
Baltimore's been pretty aggressive against Heaney. And that's okay as a pitcher. You utilize that. You got a little fastball just a little bit further off the outside corner. You get a lot of hitters to roll over and hit ground ball outs.
Looks at a strike. Came off the disabled list on June the 5th, did Wieters. Tommy John surgery. Switch hitter, playing in his 42nd game. 264 with 4 home runs and 15 runs batted in. Here's this one to the right side. Davis got a good job. A little hesitation there by Giavitello. I'm not sure that they were going to turn 2, but scary enough just to get the out at second. 1 down.
Especially if you're Eric Ibar and you got Chris Davis sliding at you. Couldn't quite get the handle of the baseball. And the throw and the slide from Davis. You're just looking to get that force at that point. Get out of the way of that slide if you're Eric Ibar.
So Wieters replaces Davis at first, one down. Here's Hardy. 4-pitch walk. The only base on balls issued by Andrew.
Always dangerous on the inner half of the plate, especially with fastballs.
So 6 pitches to Hardy. All have been out of the zone. Fouls this one back to our right. Oh, and almost takes out a Hall of Famer.
See, now he's smart. He gets out of the way.
Everybody was getting out of the way in that booth. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer, and a highlighter gone. Down and in. 3 balls and a strike. Three one. Skies this one to shallow right. Always got to put starter blocks out right field for Cole. He plays such a deep right field. He's on a dead sprint pretty much every time coming in on those fly balls.
And always a good idea if you're an infielder to just stay out of the way when that train comes a rolling at you. Still having kind of fun with that pop-up into the booth next door.
That's that in-between one, though.
Yeah, no, you don't want any part of that one.
It's got that spin going down towards the monitors in front of you. You just never know where that ball is going to end up. Swing and a miss by Scope, 0-1. Scope a fly ball to left. And that is ripped into the left field corner, and that one is gone. And got out in a hurry. Scope a 2-run blast, and Baltimore leads it 3-1.
Well, he has good power, and if you make a mistake in his zone, that was down and in. That got out quickly. You were hoping it was could hook and get pulled foul on the foul pole. He got tucked his hands in well. He hit so hard it had no chance to hook foul. His 8th home run, now 17 RBI.
Wanted to sample this earlier this year with a sprained right knee. And he snaps the 1-1 tie. He comes with 2 outs here in the 4th. 3-1 Orioles. Junior Lake at the plate. He's the DH. Shoots this one back towards second. Tella has it. Heading over, but Baltimore picks up a 2-run blast for Jonathan Scope. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th. Angels trailing it by 2. Mike Trout ready to lead things off for the Angels here in the fourth and back in the first. He did this, Goober.
On his birthday, a fastball from Gossman. And he crushes it out to left center field. His 33rd home run, third time on his birthday. He has gone yard. You look what Mike Trout has done at age 24 compared to some of the all-time greats as far as record holders. Mike Trout 130 home runs. Barry Bonds only had 59 at this point. 449 runs scored. Rickey Henderson, the all-time run scorer, 368. 689 hits. Pete Rose only had 311 at the age of 24. So well ahead of all those important stats in baseball history for Mike Trout at age 24.
First one's down low. Two balls and no strikes. Not too bad, man. Home runs in 3 seasons. Right on his birthday. That was inside. 3-0. Remember, in 2011, he got called up a couple of times. He was not in the big leagues on his birthday. And homering his 12th. In 2013 as well. Last year against the Dodgers went 0 for 3 as he looks at the strike here.
Tell you what, if he gets another pitch right in that zone, that baseball is going to be in trouble. Even though it was 96, that's the exact spot where Trout can crush a baseball.
Inside, it's a leadoff walk. First free pass issued by Gausman. And we'll bring up Pujols.
He has great career numbers in the months of August and into September. And the Angels really need Albert to get swinging again. Base hit his first at bat, going the other way.
Breaking ball misses in off the plate. Albert now 6 for 17 in the month of August, so he's starting to get it going. Tough month of July. It's just 224. Two-0 count. Like how this kid pitches, though. He's got that kind of stuff. Everything is off the fastball. It's not he's coming out here changeup, curveball, sliders, splits, whatever the case may be. Here it is. I'm going to set everything up off of this thing.
Yeah, when you throw him as firm as he is with the movement he has on his fastball, you can afford to do so.
Goes with the breaking ball, and it's a 3-0 count.
Now, Mike Trout took a 3-0 pitch. I don't think Albert's taking a 3-0 pitch if it's in his zone. David Murphy on deck. But if Albert gets a fastball, he's going to make a big pass at this fastball, especially in his zone.
And there's ball 4. So back-to-back walks to start the fourth.
Buck looking on. You don't see that too often from Gausman as far as walks either. There's 12 walks himself this season and coming into the game at 47 2/3 innings pitched.
Murphy saw one pitch in the first inning and he grounded out to Jonathan Scope, the second baseman. Outfield playing shallow. All three guys, Reimold, Jones, and Parra from left to right. Trout at second, Pujols at first. Nobody out here in the fourth. Murphy looks at a strike.
Murphy coming in this game a career .339 hitter against Baltimore pitching.
.284 average this season, 5 home runs, 27 runs batted in. Fouls this one back. 0-2 count. Lefties have fared better against Gausman. And righties 258 to 205 for the righties. Off speed, little flare, that'll fall in there. Trout being waved in, he's going to come in to score. An RBI single for David Murphy, cuts the deficit to 1.
It's a couple times in this game we've seen hitters, especially lefty hitters, just trying to put the ball in play against Gausman. Eric Ibar did, and now David Murphy. What a great job by Mike Trout reading that baseball down, and Gary DiSarcina sending him home. It's a great read, a changeup, a very good changeup, but just making contact with it for David Murphy. And he picks up an RBI single, but it's the read from Trout, and he picks up Gary DiSarcina and scores easily with the Angels' second run.
Roger Federer would love that backhanded slice right there.
Oh, no question.
That is perfectly placed. 28th RBI, first and second, still nobody out. Here's Ibar.
If he square around the bunt here, or drag a bunt.
Takes low. Eric had a single, similar fashion, just snuck it inside the bag at third base, but Reimold gunned him out, trying to stretch it into a double. So Eric's 1 for 1. Two balls, no strikes. Command has left Gausman here in this 4th inning. First 3 batters have reached.
He's done a nice job of laying off that two-seam fastball when it's starting at the knees because of that late movement he has. It's just dropping below the strike zone. A lot of times as a hitter, you'll swing at that and hit that ball on the ground. Good patience here.
This one's out to left. Reimold curls back around, makes the catch. He was playing shallow and redirect. 1 away. Gillespie struck you out of the second. He'll come up with Pujols at second base, Murphy at first. Connor playing in his 10th game with the Angels. Now 8 for 36 with the Halos. Angels picking him up from the White Sox. He was designated for assignment. A big 2-run home run in Monday's game. It's Corey Kluber and the Indians. That was off speed first pitch, and that's the pitch that got him. And the strikeout in the second inning. Out of 3 punch outs for the Orioles right-hander. Pujols at second, Murphy at first. 3-2 Baltimore. One ball, one strike. Mentioned that Weaver might be a possibility on Sunday. As a matter of fact, we don't even know who the Orioles are pitching on Sunday either. But tomorrow it'll be Ubaldo Jimenez against Garrett Richards. One and 2. It seems like from here on out, considering the way everyone's been playing and looking at the Angels schedule, every day, every series, a big series for the Angels. Not only the division, but as it pertains to the wild card as well.
Yeah, the teams that were behind, it looked comfortably behind the Angels as far as the wild card, have gotten hot, including this Baltimore club.
One, two. And with a fastball, bounces this one over to Scope. And fire on the second for one. Relay not in time. I tell you what, for a ball off the bat that looked like it had no chance for a double play, Scope and Hardy made it somewhat interesting.
Told you about Scope's arm strength, and that was a firm throw to Hardy, who was quick to throw the first base. That was a lot closer than I thought it even had a chance to be in. How quick that throw was and how quick the transfer from Hardy. Close play.
And Connor not blessed as a burner running down the line. He reaches on the fielder's choice. 2 outs now, and Johnny Giavotella to play.
Much better in these situations this season for Johnny Giavotella with runners on. .316 batting average.
He popped out to Scope in the second. 0 for 1 night so far. Tying run over at third, and Albert Pujols. 0-1.
Boy, Wieters is a big target behind the plate. Solid defensive catcher.
And Giavotella delivers. Pujols will come in to score. Rivaled over to try to cut it off. Does so. On his way to third is Gillespie. The throw goes to second. Nobody is there but Davis backing up, and we're tied at 3.
Well, just like we said, in those moments with runners on, Johnny Giavotella, a different approach. Thinking line drive, level swing, perfect swing. Picking up a 17th double, now 38 RBI in the season for Johnny Giavotella. Just a solid swing. Came in with a 2-seam fastball in the inner half, and he brought his hands inside the baseball to turn on that and hit it to left field for a double. Quickly he got his hands, brought his hands inside that baseball.
It is amazing to watch the difference in his approach. Nobody on versus ducks on the pond, and how short his swing becomes.
Like when no one's on base, it seems like he's thinking long ball.
Yeah.
Whether it's leading off an inning or with already a couple outs in the inning, he's thinking more of an uppercut type swing in those approaches. But with someone on, it's a more level, compact swing.
Got a fastball, jumped on it. Here's Chris Iannetta, fly ball to center, his first time up. Runners at second and third and 2 outs, a 3-3 game. Chris hits one out to right field. It's playable. He got it on the hands again. Parra puts it away. Inning over, but the Angels tie things up. Single by Murphy, double by Giavotella. We'll head to the 5th. per gallon. This car was made for driving in California. Visit Dodge.com. By AT&T Uverse, more live channels on the go than cable. And by the Acura It's That Kind of Summer event. Top of the fifth here at the Big A. Good crowd on hand for this Friday night. The opening game of a 3-game series against the visiting Orioles. The Angels answering back. Jonathan Scope, a 2-run blast in the fourth inning, giving Baltimore a 3-1 lead. But back-to-back walks to Trout and Pujols open things up. Murphy an RBI single. Johnny Givitel an RBI double to tie it up.
Yeah, both of those walks scored.
Nolan Rymel to lead things off. Manny Machado after that. Gerardo Parra. 9-1-2 for Baltimore. Rymel 1 for 1. He had an infield base hit leading off the third. Eventually got thrown out trying to stretch it to third base on a single by Parra. Cole Calhoun gunning him down. He was at 2 outfield assists in that third inning. Trout throwing out Jones on the RBI single off the wall in center. That pitch misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. 3 runs, 6 hits, 2 left on for Baltimore. 3 runs, 5 hits, 3 left on for the Angels so far. Heaney now at just 56 pitches. 35 have been strikes, 1 strikeout, 1 walk. Caught the inside corner.
See if he can get back to that good balance and good tempo on the mound here and put up a 0.
Ground ball, weakly hit to short. Not a hurry. Toss it down that line, man. For a big guy?
Yeah, he won't be a whole lot of fun to run into at the plate.
No, not at all. Let's take a look at that Honda upcoming schedule. We were talking about the Angels and the rest of the way out. It's not easy. With 2 more against Baltimore, then 3 in Chicago, 4 against the Kansas City Royals, back here for 4 against the White Sox, and then the smoking hot Toronto Blue Jays in town.
The first day into Chicago, Chris Sale on the mound for the White Sox.
And then the Angels, after that homestand where the Blue Jays are here, out on the road for a 3-city trip: Detroit, Cleveland, and Oakland, before taking on the Dodgers. That's right around Labor Day weekend. Machado 1 for 2 with a single. 2 balls, 1 strike.
61 pitches, 38 in the zone, 23 out of the strike zone for Andrew Heaney.
This one's driven out toward right center field. Trout racing back, curls over to his left and makes the catch. That ball was tailing away from him. Tracks it down for the second out.
And that's what he was saying. A couple fly balls for Machado, little flares in front of him. This one you see him playing shallow, playing him to hit the ball the other way. And then this baseball's tailing away from Trout as he tracks that one down. A real nice play in the outfield for Mike Trout. Kept his eye on the baseball, especially where that ball was tailing away from him.
A little cooler, as we pointed out tonight, compared to what we've seen over the last month here. The ball not really carrying a whole lot. The one that Scope hit was on a line down the left field line. Trout was crushed at the left center. If you're right-handed batter going the other way, you better make sure you drive that ball. Two balls, no strikes on Parra, who's 1 for 2. Heaney looking for his first 1-2-3 inning. High fastball then. Parra jumping all over it. Good little player. Could play the outfield corner spots for you. Pretty good hitter. Got a little run-in with the Dodgers, didn't he?
Yeah.
A couple years ago?
Yes.
As a member of the Diamondbacks?
Yes.
This one's out toward left center field, tailing away from Trout. Will fall in for a hit. Parra will stop at first. And Jones will get an opportunity here with 2 outs and a man on. Who was that against? Do you remember?
Yeah, I'm trying to think who that was.
Was it Ryu? Wasn't that the series with Ian Kennedy also getting involved?
I know Greinke was in one of the brawls they had with Arizona.
The one I keep thinking about is the one at Dodger Stadium.
He's a tough player.
Yeah.
He's got good speed. Won a Gold Glove with the Diamondbacks. That's 17 outfield assists that year in 2013.
Jones trying to jump on that first pitch fastball, comes up empty. He's 1 for 2 with a pop-up and an RBI single. Looked like Adam liked that call. No balls, 2 strikes. The RBI he picked up in the third is 52nd of the season.
And you only want to take a chance of throwing this for a strike now. A couple different options. You can go that fastball 2-seamer, go off the plate and down, or you bounce a breaking ball.
Check swing and went around on the breaking ball. Down goes Jones as Iannetta applies the tag. Second strikeout for Heaney. We head to the bottom of the 5th, top of the order coming up for the Angels. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. Tied at 3 as we begin the bottom of the 5th inning. DeJesus, Calhoun, and Trout coming up for the Angels. Kevin Gausman with 3 strikeouts, 2 walks, and those were leading off the 4th. The Trout and Pujols, both guys coming around to score, and it tied the game up at 3. Halo sending 7 men to the plate in the 4th. DeJesus 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a fly ball to right. He will look at a strike. David now 1 for 20 with the Angels. Being acquired from the Tampa Bay Rays.
Just pulling off the baseball this slightly. As said, he's pressing a little bit too much, trying to impress his teammates, the fans. Instead, let's get back to that good level swing.
That off-speed pitch, got a piece of it, keeps his at-bat alive. Veteran player's been around a long time, originally coming up with Kansas City. And he strikes out swinging to start the 5th. 1 down. Hey, the Junior Angels Kids Club is still accepting members for the rest of the season. For just $18, members will receive an exclusive Junior Angels shirt, 4 ticket vouchers, first in line for Kids Run the Bases, and Gooby's favorite, more.
Nice.
Visit angels.com/Junior Angels to purchase your kit today. Aren't you the starter for that Kids Run the Bases? Don't you go down there on the field and send everybody off?
Oh, yeah. In the suit, it's perfect.
In grand fashion. Oh, yeah. Sunday's best.
Oh, yes.
Cole Calhoun 0 for 2 with a strikeout looking in the first, a ground out in the 3rd inning. Little cue shot toward 3rd. Machado has it. 2 down. So Trout comes up with the bases clear, homering in the 1st inning, walked in the 4th. He has scored 2 runs tonight. Trout now with 78 runs scored on the season.
Donaldson leads that category. Scored at least 1 tonight, so giving him 80.
He was tied with Dozier for 2nd. Did Dozier go deep? That's Cleveland earlier tonight.
Well, there was certainly a lot of runs scored in that game. Minnesota and Cleveland.
10-9. Twins won. Texas, by the way, leading Seattle 3-1 in the 4th. Oakland leading Houston 3-1. 2 balls, no strikes. Game at the Coliseum in the bottom of the 5th. Dallas Keuchel got the start now for the Astros.
Oakland scored now 3-1 lead.
Here it's a 3-3 tie in the bottom of the 5th. A 2-1 count. Home run that Trout hit in the first, his 33rd of the year, 69th RBI. Not sure he was fully committed to that off-speed pitch. 3-1.
That might have been more of a split from the fastball. He's got 2 different types of changeups. Going inside with a fastball.
9-8, full count. Full count with 2 outs. Albert on deck. And that's a base hit to right, so he's been on board 3 times tonight.
Single and home run, a walk, 2 runs scored, an outfield assist, and a partridge in a pear tree. Fastball inside, and with the shift on, goes inside out approach, going the other way for a base hit.
Came in tonight's action 2nd in the American League on base percentage, tied with Prince Fielder Jason Kipnis, who's on the DL, leading the way at 401. Shot at 394. Now a little home run, a walk, and a single. Here's Albert. A single and a walk for Pujols. Albert at 550 career home runs. Manny Ramirez next up on the all-time list at 555. And that is out to right. Parra moving back on it as a play before he gets to the track, makes the catch. And third out is recorded. 5 in the books, still tied at 3.
Perfect technique as far as getting behind the baseballs and outfielders. Cole Calhoun goes a laser to third base, picking up his 7th outfield assist. And then Mike Trout, one hop off the wall and a perfect throw, one hop throw to get Adam Jones at second base, his 4th outfield assist. Getting behind the baseball and perfect throws, important for an outfielder.
Now it's David DeJesus' turn, right? All 3 guys get an outfield assist. The last time the Angels had all 3 outfielders make an assist, July 25th, 2010. Juan Rivera, Torrey Hunter, and Bobby Abreu.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that was the year that Torrey notched about 50,000 miles in the outfield with those 2 guys flanking him.
He was flying all over the outfield.
I think that was the year the Angels, didn't they fly 55,000 miles?
It was the same year.
Torrey was gassed by May. Davis 1 for 2 to lead off the 6th inning. He had a single in the 4th. Good on speed pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. Andrew Heaney with 2 strikeouts and 1 walk. 7 hits allowed. Some bounce into the shift. That's Giavotella. 1 away. The second most hits that Andrews allowed in a game this year. Gave up 8 in the win against the Rockies, Coors Field. He was over 7 1/3, had 5 strikeouts in that one. As Waiters comes up, he's 0 for 2. Fly ball to right, and the fielder's choice. So has maintained the same tempo, same aggressiveness from just 75 pitches with 1 out here in the 6th. Off the plate, 3-1.
Dangerous count right now. If you're Andrew, you want to try to throw that fastball down and away. See if you get him aggressively to roll over, hit at the short.
The mistake there as he missed location. I had him set up inside.
Well, if you throw inside on a 3-1 count against a guy with power that Wieters has, you better not miss location.
Three, 2, and that's hammered out the left. DeJesus will watch this one fly. That is a home run. You called it. You better not miss, and Baltimore back on top 4-3. Wieters' 5th home run of the season.
Now that's the pitch you can hit out on the inner half of the plate on a mistake. He's not going to hit that ball out the other way if you go fastball down and away or changeup. Arms extended. And that's the danger when you try to go inside on those counts and when it's still in the favor of a hitter.
So Baltimore back on top 4-3 as J.J. Hardy looks at a strike. A walk and a fly ball to right. Second time in his career Heaney's allowed 2 home runs in a game. The other July 5th of last year. Remember the Marlins against the Cardinals.
Well, we talked about it even on the pregame show today. To be able to beat this Baltimore club, you have to keep the baseball in the ballpark.
Ibar has it on 2 outs. Hardy retired for the second out. They've hit 2 of them out tonight.
137 on the season, 4th best in the American League.
And the more difficult thing too, Mark, is the fact that we really haven't seen Heaney tonight be able to establish the inside part of plate to right-handed batters and hit his spots where you can give those guys something else to think about.
Yeah, so that the mindset has to be that you see where Chris is setting up there off the plate, but still he's not getting that fastball in far enough.
Yep.
But you also know when you look at scouting reports on these Baltimore hitters, especially the right-handed batters, they like the ball in the inner half of the plate. So you maybe show something in well off the plate, but then you get him out of way.
And at 92, 93, you're not blowing many guys away, especially those right-handed batters. I mean, if you're dealing 96, 97, a little extra, then you could, and even if you got 98 in the tank, it's a little different story where you can kind of tie someone up or beat them on the inside
and then
part.
if you can hit that fastball away and change up away, because then they have to look away, then they're more susceptible to the fastball inside.
Nine hits allowed, now a career high for him. Scope picking up his 2nd hit of the night. The Angels will start to get some action going. So now Salas first man up. Orioles up 4-3. Matt Wieters a home run here in the 6th inning, snapping a 3-3 tie. Junior Lake is 0 for 2 in his Orioles debut. A fly ball to right and a ground ball to second. AAA this year, .316 average with 7 home runs and 31 runs batted in. 25-year-old. Orioles sending Tommy Hunter to the Cubs for Junior.
See, that's great location right there. Now you can go with a fastball a little bit further off the outside corner or back it up with a changeup.
Down the line, that's fair ball, hits the bag. Scope on his way to 3rd, Lake to 2nd with a double.
Right down the line off the base. Gillespie was in position to backhand that baseball, but off the base to flex over his head.
Mike Butcher was going to go out, and Scioscia called him back, so I wonder if that's it for Heaney. Nolan Reimold coming up. We're waiting to see if Salas is ready to go. Look for that high sign from the Angels pen. And here comes Socha. So sure enough, 85 pitches tonight. Andrew Heaney's going to be done. A mistake to Matt Weeder, snapping this 3-3 tie. 10 hits allowed for the lefty. He's going to depart here with property at second and third. First pitch and change of the night in this ball game. We assume this is Socha, just a little stall tactic here. Make sure Salas is ready to go. And there's the move. So Heaney is done. Fernando Salas coming on to relief. 4-3 Orioles here in the sixth. MercuryInsurance.com to get a fast break quote and see how much you can save.
And by Hyundai, the summer clearance is going on now at your Hyundai dealer. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
Orioles on top 4-3 as we still bat here in the sixth inning with 2 outs and runners at second and third. Andrew Heaney lifted after 85 pitches. Career high 10 hits allowed. Career high matching 2 home runs allowed. And he departs with runners at second and third as Fernando Salas takes over on the mound. Or in and out, who's in, who's out. Salas last pitched over the weekend against the Dodgers. Had 2 outings in that weekend series, a total of inning and 2/3, giving up a run on a hit. He'll face Nolan Reimel, the left fielder, 9th place hitter, who's 1 for 2, had an infield base hit in the third. Scope, the base runner at third base, and Lake at second. Change up first pitch. This is upstairs, 1-0. Danger zone was Reimel. He's got some pretty good pop in his bat,
especially on elevated pitches. Right back upstairs with another fastball this time. Change up, fastball up.
Breaking ball lifted in the air down the line. Giavotella cutting across, has a play on it in foul territory, has the ball, hit his glove and fall into foul territory. He had a long way to go, but what should have been the third out instead is just a strike, and it's a 1-2 count on Nolan Reimel.
Yeah, he was in position to catch that pop-up. He's calling for it underneath it. Didn't quite look it all the way and squeeze it into the glove, using 2 hands. That way, when you use the 2 hands, you can keep that baseball in the glove. Hopefully now, Fernando Salas can pick up Johnny Giavotella.
It's charged with an error, his 10th of the year. Iannetta with a quick visit to Salas. 1-2 count on Reimold. One-two pitch. Fastball got him looking. Down goes Reimold, and those runners will stay in scoring position. Baltimore, however, retakes the lead. They're up 4-3.
Astros in Oakland. Great pitching match. Dallas Keuchel versus Sonny Gray. Gray leading that one, but Ken Kershaw continues streaking in Pittsburgh at 37 straight scoreless innings. First batter of the game for Pittsburgh, first pitch. And the streak is gone. Home run. Blanco against Clayton Kershaw. Dodgers eventually lost that game in 10 innings. Great pitching matchup there. Kershaw versus Garrett Cole. Neither one got the decision, though.
Yep. As Pedro Alvarez hit the walk-off. David Murphy takes ball one. Murphy, Ibar, and Gillespie here in the 6th inning. David 1 for 2 with an RBI single his last time up. 2-0 count. Up in Seattle, Rangers leading the Mariners 3-2. That game's in the 6th inning. Oakland still leading Houston 3-1 in the 7th. There's a strike.
Well, how well is Sonny Gray throwing the baseball this year for Oakland?
Two balls, two strikes. That's a matchup of Sonny Gray and Dallas Keuchel.
13-5 versus 11-4. And so far, Sonny Gray pitching a little bit better.
Full count. Here's a payoff pitch. Murphy shoots one to the left side. That'll sneak through for a base hit. That's twice he's gone that way. Same style, too. That'll work.
I guess that's why he's hitting over 300. 339 in his career versus Baltimore coming in this game. That's going the other way. And that's one of those things. Look at the infielder's reaction like, what are we going to do?
It's like playing doubles in tennis. The other guy thought he had it. There's Eric Ibar. 1 for 2. That is out towards center field. Jones racing back. still moving back on the track will make the catch. 1 out.
That's a pretty good range for the Gold Glover. Center field for Baltimore. He's playing shallow. How quickly he went back on that baseball. You see how shallow he's playing. Then that line he took towards the baseball, tracks it down right in front of the wall, and gets the baseball in quickly. Perfect route for Adam Jones, 4-time Gold Glove winner.
So Murphy at first, 1 out. Here's Connor Gillespie. 0 for 2. Struck out in the second. Reached on a fielder's choice in the fourth. Bullpen action for both teams out of left field. Chaz Rowe, right-handed. First man up for the Orioles. Angels have Jose Alvarez getting ready. One ball, no strikes, and that Orioles bullpen been pretty good this year. 19-11, 2.79 bullpen ERA. Zach Britton, their closer, has 27 saves. Lefty.
And Buck Showalter likes to go down to that bullpen quite a bit.
Not afraid to match up, that's for sure.
Look at it. Their numbers as far as the pitching staff. No complete games this year.
Two balls and a strike. 87th pitch of the night for Gausman. 54 with strikes. 4 punch outs, 2 walks. 7 hits allowed. Making his 7th start of the year.
Hit and run count here. 2-1 with 1 out.
Machado way off the line at third. Now feels playing very, very shallow. They popped him up. Reimold calls off Hardy. 2 down. And follow the Angels all season long with MLB.com At Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat is up to the moment at any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcast, StatCast, and more. Get MLB.com At Bat for your smartphone or tablet today. Like Connor, when he first got to the Angels a couple weeks ago, everything, especially away from him, lining it out that way. All of a sudden, a little loop in his swing.
A lot more fly ball action to left instead of that line drive to left center field.
Giavotella looks at a strike. He had an RBI double in the fourth. At that point, it tied the game up at 3. Matt Wieters snapping that tie in the top of the 6th inning with his 5th home run of the year. No balls, 2 strikes. Murphy, a leadoff single, still standing at first base. This one down the right field line to foul. Count remains at 0-2. 10 hits for Baltimore, 7 for the Angels. The opening game of the 3-game series. Breaking pitch toward the middle, base hit. Jones quickly goes over and cuts it off, holds Murphy at second. Giavatello picks up his second hit of the night. 2 men on, 2 outs. Chris Iannetta coming up.
A big opportunity now for Chris to get a big clutch base hit.
Well, the Angels have gone back-to-back games, both against Cleveland, of course, in which they did not get multiple hits in one inning. They've done that now 3 times, trying to capitalize here in the 6th inning, down by a run. Iannetta 0 for 2 with 2 fly ball outs, 1 to center, 1 to right. He gets a breaking ball, first pitch, 0-1.
He's looking at that first pitch fastball. So he got last at bat to fly out to right field.
Iannetta cuts through that one. No balls, 2 strikes. Chris 2 for his last 27. Pretty good hack, that 98-mile-per-hour fastball.
Yeah, it was elevated enough to get his arms extended. You have a swing like that, it's against you as a pitcher, more likely to come back to a breaking ball. You talk about consistently rushing that fastball up there. 65 pitches during the course of this game have been 95 or above for Gausman.
Down the line, Parra will give it a look, but this one headed to the seats.
Saw that the other day from Garrett Richards. A number of those fastballs 95 and above.
Murphy back to second, Giavatello back to first. Garrett gets a start tomorrow. Angels tonight 2 for 5 with men in scoring position. Another 0-2 upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Still rushing it up there. His 97th pitch at 98 miles an hour.
He started him off with a breaking ball.
I'm surprised he hasn't gone back there yet.
I was thinking this would be the time that you would think that he would do that.
Usually you go upstairs with a fastball, you're setting him up for that plane for the curveball to start high and then bring it down in the strike zone. Guy next to us, Jim Palmer, used to do that so well. The high fastball followed up with that big curveball. And it started that same plane to get a swing and miss. Hopefully he hangs it here, though.
All with that big leg kick that
yes.
Jim Palmer had. Goes fastball, hits one out toward left center field. Rival giving chase, still going back there, over his head. 2 runs in. Iannetta ends up at second. A 2 RBI double, and the Angels retake the lead.
It's surprising he went back to the fastball, and Iannetta did not miss that one. Picking up his 7th double. How good does that feel for Chris Iannetta to drive in 2 with that double to left center field? This time a low fastball was firm, was right down the heart of the plate, and a good swing from Chris. Stayed on it, his head still. He crushed that baseball. Fortunately for Gausman, it didn't go out. How close that came to that wall. One hops the wall, driving it 2.
Back-to-back 2-out hits, and the Angels have a 5-4 lead with the Orioles making a pitching change. the 6th inning with a lead. Instead, he gives up a big 2 RBI double to Chris Iannetta, and he departs trailing it 5-4. He's responsible for Iannetta standing at second base.
Really surprised he didn't go with a curveball there after the high fastball. But what a swing from Chris.
Chaz Rowe takes over on the mound. 28-year-old. Pitching in his 27th game with the Orioles. 2-1 record with 2.91 ERA. And DeJesus looks at a breaking ball for a strike.
Rowe's fastball is 91-95, throwing the ball very well. And sharp slider. You just saw that first pitch.
Signed as a free agent in the offseason. Limited time in the big leagues prior to this season. 21 games with the Diamondbacks in 2013. 3 games with the Yankees last season. One ball, one strike. Rowe, a former Rockies first-round pick back in 2005 in high school in Lexington, Kentucky. David DeJesus 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts and a fly ball to right. Lays off. They wanted an appeal. Didn't go. Tony Randazzo at third base. 2-1 count. Breaking pitch, ripped to right, a base hit. Parra cuts it off. Iannetta comes in to score. 6-4 Angels. David DeJesus with an RBI knock.
Well, it's good to see the new guys coming through with some clutch hits. DeJesus with an RBI single. He's been 28 on the season. David Murphy has had a solid game with 2 hits and an RBI himself. The hanging slider. This job by DeJesus is staying back on that baseball and driving that ball in the right field for an RBI single.
Cole fouls off the first one. In Seattle, Mariners have taken a 4-3 lead against the Rangers. Still batting in the 6th inning. Oakland still leading the Astros 3-1 in the 8th at the Coliseum. Here it's 6-4 Halos. Cole tonight 0 for 3 with a strikeout and a couple of groundouts. Both teams now with 10 hits. Little flare out the shallow center field. That'll fall in for a base hit. So make that 4 consecutive 2-out hits, and Mike Trout coming up.
Well, the birthday boy has had a solid night so far. First at bat, the birthday boy, 24th birthday today, goes yard, his 33rd home run. Then an outstanding outfield assist, his 4th of the season, first on his birthday. And then, after Milwaukee, also singles in the right center field. So a walk, home run, single, and an outfield assist.
Been on board 3 times for the home run, the walk, and the single. DeJesus at second, Calhoun at first. Looks at a strike.
one thing. When you're on the mound and you're facing a hitter like Mike Trout, as good as he is, that focus, you're trying to make a perfect pitch. But when you do that sometimes, you fall out of your mechanics, and that's when you make mistakes.
3 runs in so far, and this one missing down and away.
See him trying to overthrow, and that front shoulder's opening up. He's muscling up, and that 95-mile-an-hour fastball well out of the strike zone.
Two-one. Breaking ball, misses low. 3 balls into strike. Out of the Trout farm.
They're ready. Good count to do some damage on a baseball now. 3-1 count.
And he draws a walk. They're loaded up for Pujols. So make that 4 times up, 4 times on. Dave Wallace, a pitching coach, coming out to pay a visit. Pujols will bat with the bases loaded.
Albert's had some real good numbers in his career with the bases loaded. Now you have a pitcher wanting to establish that strike zone first pitch. Albert generally pretty patient on the first pitch. Maybe at one time where he's not as patient, he's looking for a fastball to square up.
Brian Mattis, a lefty, now getting ready. DeJesus at third, Calhoun at second, Trout at first. 6-4 Halos here at the bottom of the 6th inning with 2 outs. 5 straight batters have reached after the second out was recorded. That was Gillespie with a fly ball to left. Albert takes down and in. Pujols, a 1-for-2 game with a single, a walk, and a fly ball to right. Outfield remains shallow for the Orioles. Albert cuts through that 94-mile-per-hour fastball, maybe chasing something away from him. And it's 1-1. Pujols pops it up. Scope, the second baseman, drifting out, calling everybody off. Halos will leave them loaded, but not before they strike for 3. They bat around here the 6th inning. We head to the 7th. 6-4 Angels. Doubleheader starting with the Dodgers taking on the Pirates in a key game for both teams. Then at 4 p.m. Pacific, the National League Central leading Cardinals take on the Brewers in a game you can only see on Fox Sports 1. Coverage begins at 12:30 Pacific, only on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
And Pittsburgh won today against the Dodgers. 19 games over 500, yet still 6 games back in that Central.
6-4 Angels, top of the 7th inning. Chris Iannetta with a big 2 RBI double. DeJesus with an RBI single, adding to that lead. And now in the 7th inning, it's Jose Alvarez who's coming to the ball game. 38th game, a 2-3 record, a 3.52 ERA. Took the loss Tuesday, pitching against Cleveland, and kind of an interesting choice here in the 7th. I don't think we've seen him pitch in the 7th inning with the lead. Usually been Trevor Gott of late. Got Machado a righty, Parra lefty, Jones a righty. First one in for a strike. Manny's a 1 for 3, had a base hit back in the first. Off speed, first strike, 1-2. Trevor Gott now warming up in the pen. No real red flags for Machado as far as splits are concerned. He's at 286 against lefties, 292 against righties. To get the left-hand hitting Parra on deck. Rocketed foul into the seats.
And Mike Scioscia's goal would be able to get Machado out here, and then Parra, and then maybe at that point bring in Gott to face Jones.
That unfortunately may have gotten a fan a couple of rows behind the Orioles dugout. And that's why Machado is taking a little time getting back in the box. One, two. This is towards center field. It's a base hit. Leadoff man on board. Second hit of the night for Machado, the 11th for the Orioles.
Go back to my Hyundai key for this game. A little celebration day so far. It's been a good one for Mike Trout and the Angels. Home run single, 2 walks, and an outfield assist. And his teammates coming through with some clutch hits. They're in the bottom of the 6th, including Chris Iannetta's big 2-run RBI double.
Parra 2 for 3 game with a couple of singles and a run scored. Alvarez on the year pitching his 38th game. 2-3 mark at 3.52 ERA. Slider to dirt. 2 balls and a strike.
Parra's rolling into 7 double plays this year. Alvarez would love a ground ball at a middle infielder.
That is out towards center field. It's going to hang up for Trout, and it does. Nice play by Trout. Got a good jump off the bat. Otherwise, you're talking about some serious trouble.
You're talking about closing speed to
Yeah.
make a solid play.
Well, Alvarez will depart here with 1 out, a man on. 2 sharply hit baseballs. And the guy we thought was going to start this 7th inning now is coming into the game. It's Trevor Gott. A 6-4 Angels lead here in the 7th. Later today in the postgame show for the Business of Sports, brought to you by AutoNation.com and powered by AutoNation Nissan South Bay. Trevor Gott takes over on the mound for Jose Alvarez, who departs with a man on and 1 out here in the 7th. Gott will get a chance to face Adam Jones. 23rd game, a 1-0 record, and a 2.18 ERA. Last pitch on Tuesday, throwing a total of 13 pitches.
Power fastball with movement. 94 to 98 range. Pretty solid slider, but he's got to try to maintain his good mechanics on the slider and solid changeup too.
Manny Machado, the base runner at first base. Adam Jones will come up here. He is 1 for 3 on the night. Single off the wall in the 3rd inning. Trout threw him out as he tried to stretch it into a double. RBI for Jones in the 3rd, his 52nd of the season. First one just missed in off the plate. Jones has grounded into 15 double plays this year. That leads the Orioles. A 2-0 count.
And Oakland behind Sonny Gray. Bleak game. The Oakland A's beat the Houston Astros. Seattle leading Texas in the 7th. Because right now at this point 2 games back.
Chopper to the left side. Gillespie goes into a dive again. Fires to first and they get Jones by a step. I'll take a look at it downstairs, I'm sure.
And the dive once again, this time Gillespie getting up quickly. Yeah, it looked like he got him.
So Jones is second out. Machado ends up second at second base, I should say. That's a ball that I don't know that Connor really needed the dive for. I think if he stays on his feet, he cuts it off still. It's difficult sometimes. You can take that many steps for an infielder, any infielder, and then you dive.
Yeah, especially somebody like Adam Jones runs well.
We saw it earlier in the game with Reimel back in the third inning as he legged down an infield base hit. There's Chris Davis, the dangerous Chris Davis. First pitch, a strike. Davis 1 for 3. He had a base hit to right in the fourth inning. One. Halos in the bottom of the seventh have Murphy, Ibar, and Gillespie coming up. It's Murphy that started off the sixth inning with a base hit, scored one of the 3 runs. Angels 5 straight batters reach with 2 outs in the sixth inning. High fastball. Davis comes up empty, 1-2.
Yeah, he wonder if we'll go even a higher fastball now.
One-two. Swing and a miss. Down goes Davis. Trevor Gott comes in, slams the door. Stretch time. The Angels up 6-4. Tweet your strongest fan photo to hashtag WestDataStrongFan for a chance to be featured in an upcoming broadcast, and it's brought to you by T-Mobile. Bottom of the seventh inning, 6-4, Angels on top. Brian Mattis takes over on the hill for Chaz Rowe. Mattis on the season 1-2 and a 2.48 ERA. The lefty's pitched it now. This will be his 34th game. 32 and 2/3 innings, 24 hits, 37 strikeouts, 16 walks for the one-time starter.
We have fastball, 89-93 range, slider, curve, very good changeup.
Murphy 2 for 3 with a couple of singles, an RBI, and a run scores. He fouls the first one back. No balls, 2 strikes. This one's out toward left field. Reimer backs up a couple of steps, puts it away for the first out. Here comes Eric Ibar.
Still a pretty good swing for Murphy. Level swing, line drive in the left field. It was caught this time.
Chaz Rowe, by the way, went 1/3 of an inning, gave up 2 hits, 1 walk, no runs allowed. The double, or the 2 hits, I should say, that he gave up, one of which was an RBI single by DeJesus. That run got charged to the starter, Gausman. Ibar looks at a strike. 6 runs for Gausman. It's 5 2/3, 9 hits, including the home run to Trout. 4 strikeouts and 2 walks. Ibar tonight 1 for 3. Brian Mattis, product of the University of San Diego, first round pick, 4th overall back in 2008 by the Orioles. Became a full-time reliever in 2013, pitching 65 games that year, all out of the pen. 63 games last year. Now this is 34th this season.
Done a pretty solid job out of the bullpen for Buck Showalter.
1-2. Zach Britton's also done a nice job as well, former starter himself. Lefty as their closer. Broken bat roller foul. Blew lumber on its way to the plate. This is back up the middle. It's a 1-out single for Ibar, his 2nd hit of the night.
Good job by Eric staying back on that all-speed pitch and using the middle of the field.
It's like C.J. Cron is going to come out to the on-deck circle. Orioles have a right-hander getting ready in their bullpen. This is Connor Gillespie's spot in the order.
Taylor Featherston will go play third base.
And here comes Buck Showalter asking Phil Cuzzy if CJ has been announced. And that way Buck can make the move to the bullpen. So pitching change after the pinch hitter is announced. 6-4 Angels here in the 7th. 4 runs, 11 hits, 6 left on for the Orioles. 6 runs, 12 hits, 1 error, 7 left on for the Angels. And that is hammered out to deep left. Oh my! 8-4 Halos!
That's one of those oh me, oh my moments for a home run. For C.J. Cron. Wow. That is a screaming baseball out of the ballpark. You talk about getting a pitch in your zone and you absolutely crush it. That's full extension on the swing.
Mr. Cron, meet Mr. Brock.
Wow.
On second thought, first career pinch hit home run. Giavotella shoots one out toward right center field. Adam Jones giving chase, and the center fielder will track it down. 2 outs. Giavotella looking for his 3rd hit of the game. Jones makes a nice play on it. 2 down for Chris Iannetta.
David Freese having a little fun there with C.J. Cron. Wow, was that baseball crushed. I think the day off helped out the hitters. Refreshed himself.
They needed it, that's for sure. We talked about the numbers going back to the beginning of the last road trip. The offense has been anemic, and there's no other way to put it. 2-7 over the last 9 games. Combined for a total of 7 hits in the last 2 games. 13 hits tonight as Chris fouls this one back. 0-2.
Dave Hansen, hitting coach, talking to C.J. Cron. He probably asked him, hey, did you get all that one?
Chris goes down looking for the 3rd out, but C.J. Cron adds a little insurance. A huge home run, a 2-run shot, pitch hit style. We're through 7, and the Angels lead is now 8-4.
Some serious sound and distance from C.J. Cron.
C.J. Cron adding a little insurance there in the 7th inning. I'm Alex Curry. Make sure you stick around after the game for Angels Live. Jose Mota and Tim Salmon will join me out here at the desk. Ken French will have all the interviews, hopefully talking to the birthday boy who's now hit home runs in 3 of his 4 birthdays up here in the big leagues. And then following our post-game show, it's an all-new Angels Weekly. We get to know Shane Victorino, the Flying Hawaiian. We also check out the Angels Elite High School Camp. And we celebrate 2 Player of the Months, Mike Trout and Andrew Heaney. And Gooby, word on the street is that you had a pretty good career heading into your 24th birthday. Mike Trout giving you a little run for your money there.
Oh, well, Mike Trout's in another world, though, Alex. That's for sure what he has been able to accomplish. It's just fun to be able to watch what he does. Those big moments, always coming through.
Feel free to smack talk, man. You got a couple division titles and a world championship under your belt. What were you, 21? You get to the big leagues?
Yeah, by 24, yeah.
You're bad.
Yeah.
Trevor got back out for the 8th inning. Retired Jones and Davis to finish off the 7th. Wieters, Hardy, and Scope here in the 8th. Two balls, 1 strike. Wieters 1 for 3 tonight, homering in the 6th inning off Andrew Heaney at that point, giving Baltimore the 4-3 lead. Two and 2. Fernando Salas eventually finished off that 6th inning. He's the pitcher of record. Got the last out, striking out Nolan Reimold. The Angels scored 3 runs in the 6th. Wieters tardy on that fastball. Line towards the shortstop, Barry. That's Taylor Featherston, the third baseman, making the catch for the first out.
It's like an automatic. As soon as you come in the game, the baseball is going to find you, and right away that line drive finds the glove of Taylor Featherston. Jumping up and making a nice play on that line drive. When we get back to C.J. Cron, that at bat he had as a pinch hitter, this 1 for 20 as a pinch hitter, and not only was a single, but he had that conversation with Dave Hansen, who had 139 career pinch hits. So that's invaluable to know what to look for as a hitter coming up in that situation. And Dave Hansen was so successful in that role throughout his career. Just look for that zone, that one zone, to do some damage, and there was certainly some damage done on that baseball.
One ball, 2 strikes. J.J. Hardy 0 for 2 with a walk. Home run by C.J. Cron, estimated at 456 feet. Breaking ball chopped to the left side. Featherston lets Ibar handle it, and they throw out Hardy. Boy, you're talking about a last-minute redirection by Featherston. 2 down.
And Eric will be saying, hey, I'm right there for you. 2 real good arms on that side of the infield with Featherston and Eric Ibar. And Eric Ibar with a solid play to get J.J. Hardy.
Breaking ball for a strike. Jonathan Scope, 2-hit game tonight with a home run, 2-run shot in the 4th inning. A single in the 6th. Garcia getting ready for the bottom of the 8th inning. Top of the order coming up for the Angels. The Jesus, Calhoun, and Trout. Chopper again toward Ibar. 2 hop. 1, 2, 3 inning for Trevor Gott. 5 up, 5 down for the youngster. We get to the bottom of the 8th. Angels still on top.
For the order coming up for the Halos, David Jesus had a big swing, lasted back, an RBI single. Jason Garcia taking over on the mound for Baltimore, his 9th game ERA, just under 6 at 5.93. 11 walks, though, has been an issue for him in 11 2/3 innings pitched. He does have 8 strikeouts, though.
Garcia to face the top of the order. Former 17th round pick by the Red Sox back in 2010. 8 games that he has pitched in the big leagues this year, the only 8 games he's gotten at the big league level. He was purchased from the Houston Astros organization. Astros took him from the Red Sox in the Rule 5 and sold him to Baltimore. Very similar to the Taylor Featherston situation this past offseason for the Angels. DeJesus 1 for 4 with an RBI single in the 6th. With David, his 28th run batted in. Working back. One hopper to second. Maryland's up to the right of the mound, and there's the first down.
Well, he shattered this bat. A bit of a cut fastball. Handle area breaks that bat right in half.
Corey Rasmus getting ready. He'll pitch the 9th. Calhoun, a 1 for 4 game as he had picked up a single in the 6th inning. Halos tonight with 13 hits. Baltimore with 11. Garcia spent some time on the disabled list earlier this year with right shoulder tendonitis. 9 minor league rehab appearances at Double-A. Explains the minor league outings for him. Rule 5 selection, has to stay at the major league level all season. .3-0 pitch. And there's a 4-pitch walk. So Trout will bat with a man on and 1 out. On base all 4 times tonight with a home run, 2 walks, and a single.
When he runs this fastball 2-seamer way up and in. Certainly want to try to avoid that wrist area.
Houston lost tonight to Oakland 3-1. Texas currently trailing Seattle in the bottom of the 8th 4-3. Here it's 8-4 Halos. Off speed pitch. Weird action too as far as Wieters catching that baseball.
That's
a
a
movement on it.
A quick conversation right away from Wieters. Reason why you see that happen is when you drop your wrist and elbow creates that kind of a lateral movement.
That's 6 out of the zone for Garcia. Walking Calhoun on 4 pitches. 2-0. Just caught the corner. 2-1. Looking ahead of the 9th inning, the Orioles have 8, 9, and 1 coming up. Lake, Reimold, and Machado. Toward right center field. Jones got a terrific jump on it. Tracks it down. Not sure if Parra was going to get there. It was more toward that area for a right fielder, but Jones was shading him that way.
Yeah, he gets that good jump on the baseball. To track that one down. Good range for the Gold Glove winner. See where he's located. Still playing to hit the ball to that right center field, but tracks it down in front of Parra out in right center field.
So 2 outs, Cole back to first, and here's Albert. 1 for 3 game with a single and a walk.
I think Albert would like that pitch in that zone once again.
Two balls, 1 strike. Baldo Jimenez against Garrett Richards tomorrow night. 6:05 start. Game 2 of this 3-game set. You got a couple of to be determined on Sunday afternoon. Two-1 to Albert. Ground ball to short. Hardy will flip it on the scope. They force out Calhoun, and we will head to the 9th. Corey Rasmus coming on in relief. The Angels leading at 8-4. On in relief time now for the top tier play. The game brought to you by Arco, and it was Chris Seinettle mired in a slump of late in the 6th inning with 2 outs, a 2 RBI double. Put the Angels on top for good. And Chris, his 7th double of the year, RBI is 28 and 29. I'm sure a big load off his shoulders. Struggling of late. Catches Corey Rasmus here to start this 9th inning. Rasmus takes over for Gahn, who went an inning and 2/3. Had 1 strikeout, facing 5 batters. No record of 3.18 ERA. 3 games, 1 start for Rasmus. Pitched on Wednesday. Inning and 2/3 scoreless baseball. Junior Lake, Nolan Reimold, and Manny Machado for Baltimore here in the 9th. Junior Lake, the DH tonight in his Orioles debut, 1 for 3. He doubled in the 6th inning. Lifted out to center field. Trout will come in on it. 1 away. Jimmy Paredes will come up to pinch hit here for Nolan Reimold.
Remember, we went back at Baltimore, how hot he was at that point.
Yeah. Reimold finishes the night going 1 for 3 with an infield base hit.
Great job by Trevor Gott coming out of the bullpen for Mike Scioscia tonight.
No balls, 2 strikes. Paredes hitting .283, 10 home runs and 41 runs batted in. He's 1 for 5 as a pinch hitter. Called strike 3, down he goes, 2 down.
Great two-seam action from Rasmus. Starts that pitch off the inside corner. It brings it right back against the upper part of the strike zone. Great movement. Freezes a left-handed batter, thinking that's going to be out of the strike zone.
Handles 1 out away of picking up their 58th win of the season and picking up a game in the standings, with Houston having lost earlier tonight. Machado looks at a strike. 2 for 4 game for Manning. A couple of singles. Twice his skide went out to Trout in center. Oh, 1. Fouled back 0-2. 7 pitches, 7 strikes for Rasmus. That's off the plate, 1-2.
Texas Rangers lost tonight up in Seattle, 4-3.
So that will add some distance. A little bounce of foul. Texas been playing good baseball of late. Winners of 10 of their last 15 games. We're 3 behind the Angels. A victory tonight and fall 4 back of the Angels.
Picked up Mike Napoli today.
One-two pitch. This one's out toward left center field. Man, nobody's going to get this one. Off the base of the wall, Machado on his way to second with a 2-out double. His 3rd hit of the night.
21st double of the season.
So Gerardo Parra will bat now with 2 outs and a man in scoring position. Gerardo Parra tonight, a 2 for 4 game himself. Couple of singles. .25 hits combined in tonight's game. 12 by the Orioles, 13 by the Halos. Parra grounds this one to first. Albert's got it. Races to the bag. Light that baby up as the Angels take game 1 by the final of 8-4 tonight.
Some real good swings. A mammoth home run for C.J. Cronin. What a nice double and swing
for Chris Sinetta, and the birthday boy does what he does best in those big moments, comes through with a clutch. Home run his first at bat, a couple walks, a single, a couple runs scored, an outfield assist as the Angels win Game 1 of this 3-game set against the Baltimore Orioles.
Good to see the offense come alive with the 13 hits tonight. And going into tonight's action, you had a pretty good matchup as far as young players. Both guys drafted in the first round of the 2012 draft. Gossman against Heaney. Both guys looked good at times, and at other times command was a little bit issue. Andrew giving up 10 hits, 2 of which were home runs. Gossman, the walks really came back to haunt him when he started off the inning with Trout and Pujols with back-to-back walk. Both of those runs coming across the score, but Salas picks up the win in relief.
You're really expecting a low-scoring game with those 2 arms.
Well, the birthday boy on board 4 times tonight. He is down on the field with our own Ken French. Ken.
Yeah, thank you very much, Victor. From all of us here at the Big A, happy birthday, Mike Trout. You did it all tonight, including hit a home run for the 3rd time on your big day. What's up with home runs and your birthday?
Just going up there trying to put good swings on balls that are going out of the park. I'm not trying to hit home runs, but it's a fun win for sure.
You guys have been looking for the big game offensively. You got it here tonight, but how important were the clutch hits, the 2-out hits, especially at the bottom of the 6th inning?
Huge. It's good. It's going to win ball games for us. Good team win tonight. We pitched great. We hit well, and it's a great night.
Astros lost tonight. You guys now a game and a half out in the AL West. Woo! How's that feel, hearing that? What's the confidence level of this team right now?
Feels good. You know, we're very confident. Obviously, a lot of games left. Can't thank you guys for keep coming and show some support. It's big games. Got to take it one game at a time, and we're just having out here fun.
All right, Mike, congratulations and happy birthday once again.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
All right, Mike Trout, big game along with the Angels to take game number 1 of this 3-game series with the Baltimore Orioles and move a game and a half back of the Astros in the AL West. Stick around. It's all about Angels Live post-game with Alex Curry, Tim Salmon, and Jose Mota. And it's coming up right after this.